much this is self-explanatory. You do not need to remove axles. You do not need to remove absolutely none of this stuff here. Only ones that you would have to remove is, once again, the outer tie rod right here. That boot is destroyed. That's one of the reasons why I'm changing it. It's because it dried out and it damaged the splines. So you would have to remove these two bolts right here, that one and that one, and undo that exhaust clip right there so that this can hang. Also the O2 sensor, you have to detach so that this pretty much hangs down and out of your way. Then I'm gonna explain to you another thing you have to take off is you need a 12 point of 10 millimeter, and you have to remove the shaft for the rear wheel drive. You have to remove them. It's 4 bolts each corner. You have to remove this, and as well, once you remove that, you also have to remove hold up, get a better see. I already took off a bolt here, and I never put it back. I forgot about it. For your best interest, don't forget to put it back. But yes, you would have to remove this. I forgot the name of it. It's the differential, I think it is, for the rear wheel. You would have to take this off. It's 4 bolts. It's 1, 2, 4 on the very top right here, 3 on the very top, and 1 right across that one, which is right there. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Those 4 screws you remove, and this whole thing is going to come down. It is going to leak. It is going to leak. Yes, it is going to leak. So you got to have a pan, oil pan in there. Once you have that out, then you have to remove this plate right here. It's this plate. You have to remove it. It's 1 bolt there, 2 there, 1 right here, 1 right there, and 1 right there. This one is pretty much the hardest one because of the tranny. The transmission is so close to it, you can't get a socket, so you have to actually do it with a wrench. That is so uncomfortable. But once you get that off, and this off, and also the muffler out your way, everything else is pretty much easy. You have to go over here on this side, right over on this side, and you have to, this one is destroyed, you see that? I guess whoever changed it before destroyed it. But yes, you have to remove that line. Is I believe it's a 14 or a 12. Remove that, and then remove the soft line on the other side. Once you have those 2 removed, then you can come over to the top and remove that 10 millimeter or 12 millimeter that's there. It's gonna slide down. Once it slides down, you're gonna slide it to the passenger and then slide it out. And that's pretty much it. I'm gonna start working on this now, so stay tuned. We got the plate here. We gotta remove that that rubber gasket over there, rubber strap thing over there. You also have to unhook the O2 sensor bank 1. You gotta unhook it, and you also have to unhook bank 2. This is bank 1 right here. This one right here. You have to, it has a clip. You clip it, press down, and then just like that, it removes. Then you have to come over. Oh, the OEM. See, I took off the brackets, so it's much easier. This has a bracket here. It has a bracket that goes from here to this right here. I remove it for the simple fact that it gives a hassle all the time, so I always remove it and I leave it off. I never really put it back on. I don't know why Honda even made that bracket for. This shit holds up pretty well. Let me put some glove on because it's gonna start getting greasy. All right, so now that the exhaust is removed from here, from the center, you have to let go of some of the bolts on the exhaust manifold so that you're able to move this header freely out your way so that you can remove the differential out of here. You're gonna unhook the differential 4 bolts. You're gonna slide it out this way. Be careful with the spleens, don't damage them. You're gonna slide it out, put them to the side. It's gonna drain all the oil. Once all the oil is drained, then you can start working on it. But before I do that, just so that this would be the last thing I do, I already have that. Now I'm gonna remove the half shaft from the back. It's only 4 bolts and it's a 10mm 12 point. 4 bolts. They look like these. 12 points. You remove that. That's freely now. You could remove that bracket in the center that holds it so it could slide down, give you more slack. I've never done it, but today I will do it just to have that extra play since I'm doing it by myself. I have to remove O2 bank 2 sensor, which is right here. You would have to, this is pretty easy. Okay, so I removed the half shaft. As you can see, it's 4 bolts. There were 12 points. It comes right off of this. I'm gonna take off that metal bracket right there that's holding the half shaft up, and that rubber grommet over, that rubber thing over there. This was pretty easy. OBD2, it has a rubber grommet like this. You're gonna just take it off, wiggle it, and it's gonna come down. The whole thing is gonna come down. Be very careful, you don't want to depend this thing. Then it's regular clip. You clip and you press down on the clip and pull down. It's gonna come off. Same thing with OBD bank 1. I did. Then after this is removed, after the half shaft is removed, the muffler is removed, then we can work on this bracket right here, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. Over on this side, 5, 6 bolts, and this plate is going to come down. It has to come down. Once that comes down, you're going to work on your auto tie rods. You're going to remove them. 1 and 2. Then what you're left with is the hard line and the soft line, and as well as the steering knuckle that's up on top. You have to go on the engine bay to remove it, and then that'll be free. Once that's free, you got to remove this muffler. So remove this out your way, and then after that, you wiggle it out. You can see it's down on the floor. I put this back just to not to lose bolts. Here we are. Now we get a better clear view. See this? Beautiful. Look at this view. Look, I'm under the car, perfectly under it. And now you can get a clear view of what you need to remove right there. This line right here, the hard line over here, And that 10 millimeter right there on the knuckle, see it? And that will be able to free the steering column from the rack and pinion. But before that, we have to remove the outer tie rod. Once again, I repeat, I'm trying to go step by step, so because nobody really done a tutorial on this. You got to remove them, those two. This plate right here, this plate right here. I'm gonna remove that next. Slide this out of my way, and then once this is out of my way, I'm going to remove this whole assembly, which is the differential. I'm gonna remove this out of here for the rear wheel, so that I'm able to slide down the rack and pinion easily without having to. You can do it without removing that, but the only way to do that without removing this would be to take off the motor mount take off the motor mount on the driver's side, your torque mount on the driver's side, and kind of like wedge the engine down a bit so you can get the room to slide it out. That's just a lot of work for me. I'd rather remove these 4 bolts right here, remove this, and remove the headers, and I'll be free with all the space in the world to do what I have to do. All right, fellas, I'm gonna remove the headers and the bracket. I'll be right back. All right, so I removed the bolts. This comes with a notch right there, so that you can get a flathead screwdriver right up in there, and then just kind of like wiggle it out. Kind of have to just like work it out little by little. And just being careful with it. Okay, there goes the oil. You just let it drain. Pretty much it. Once it drains, then you can remove the whole thing. And it'll be easier access to the rack and pinion. Okay, I'll get back to you when I'm starting installing everything back. Hope this helped. All right, everything is pretty much off. I'm left with the 10 millimeter right there. I'm already taking it off. And the 2 hoses, 2 power steering hoses, and I can slide this out. As you can see, everything is already dismantled. Bottom is already off, everything. Headers is here. So once I finish doing that, I'll get back to you once I start installing the next one, new one. Power steering is removed, the old one is removed, the new one's ready to be installed. I came across some difficulties. I'm gonna explain to you what happened. Okay. All right. So here's what happened. All right. Let me put it this way so you can see better. All right. So on the return line, this bolt was stripped. This nut, the return line nut was stripped, and it is extremely hard to take off once it's stripped. I mean, I tried everything. So what I did was cut it off, and I saved my supply line. I mean, my return line. Sorry, that's the supply line. No, that's the return line. This is the supply line. So I saved the supply line fitting the most, because this one is much harder to find than that one. This one they sell in AutoZone. They sell the complete supply, the complete return line from start up to the from the power rack up to the power steering pump, which would be this hose right here, this hose right here, this complete hose all the way down. Which, I mean, I'd rather change it anyway, so kind of did me a favor. So remember to save this. This is the most important part. And out of the two, it's the most important fitting. As you can see, everything is off. And wait, let me. There you go. Everything is off, and it's easy access once you do the way I explained to you. You just tilt this down, and you have to remove the whole thing. Just tilt it down a bit, just to give me the play. I couldn't get one of the bolts off on the bracket, so I just took off all of them and left that one bolt, which is the one close to the transmission. I left it, and I just bent it down. Later on, when I'm ready to install, I just bent it back up. So far it was a success. Now I'm gonna start putting everything back together. I had a little issue. Oh, well, I explained it to you with the tie rod as well. It kept spinning on me, so I cut it. But every time I'm doing suspension work, and if I do the brakes, I buy the complete brake set, rollers, pads, and caliber. So I really, when I do something, I kind of get the whole system. So this is part of the system. This is complete rack and pinion, and these are the tie rod, the outer tie rods. Those are the inner tie rods. They look good, great condition. These are in great condition as well. As you can see, they're stiff. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove them, and I'm gonna save them for future reference. You never know. What was damaged was the actual component of that power steering was damaged. This one's good as well. As you can see, it stays up, it doesn't flop down, so they good. Now, to get the alignment, you're gonna do this, and this is pretty simple. Just to get the toe as close as possible, you're gonna get a flathead, right? And you're gonna count the threads. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Should be 16. From the last time I checked, should be 16. Let me check this one. So you got one, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So it should be 16 on both sides. So whatever you did there, you're gonna do here. You don't have to do it right away, but just remember 16 is your count. That's why you should never mess with those bolts. Another trick I can teach you is when you remove the outer tie rod from the old rack and pinion, you take a spray can, orange. I suggest orange, and you spray it. As soon as you remove it, you spray it. In case this nut just happens to like move around on you, you know that at least you sprayed it, so you know. So when the new rack and pinion goes in, you know where to set the bolt at. All right, so I'm gonna start installing everything back. Wish me luck. Hope everything goes nice and smooth. And I hope this information was valuable to those that go through the forum and go through YouTube trying to find a way to remove a rack and pinion from a Honda CR-V 2000, from 97 to 2000. It don't matter if it's LX, EX, it doesn't matter. It does matter. Only thing that does matter if it's an all-wheel drive. Unfortunately for us all-wheel drive guys, it is a little bit more difficult due to the rear differential. it actually sticks out and it gets in your way. I will show you right here on this one more time. So right here, this right here kind of gets in your way. So it's 4 bolts, 1, 2, and 2 on the bottom, and you don't have to remove it. You just it's a notch on the bottom. You pry it with a flathead, and you just kind of like tilt it down, and that's about it. And hope that information helped out. Stay tuned for the next one.